Now is Congressman Jason Smith, Republican from Missouri and chair of the House Ways and Means Committee. Thank you so much for joining me, Congressman. Really appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Kristen.
It is so great to have you during what is a really critical time for the big, beautiful bill, as it has been dubbed. Let me start off by asking you about some of what we're hearing from your colleagues over in the Senate. Senator Josh Hawley from your home state of Missouri is warning that the Senate's proposed cuts to Medicaid could devastate rural hospitals in Missouri. Here's what he said. Take a look.
I was surprised that the Senate has decided to completely depart from the House framework when it comes to Medicaid and the provider taxes. I've talked to our leadership constantly about this, and I was told we've got a fix on the provider tax issue. We're going to help rural hospitals. There's nothing in here for rural hospitals. In fact, what they're doing is lowering the provider tax to make it even worse. So it's like we're defunding rural hospitals in order to pay for extension to the Green New Deal. Like, I don't get it at all.
Congressman, do you share that concern as outlined by your colleague?
So I actually have been talking to Senator Hawley, being from my home state, a lot, but all senators. And Kristen, what we're trying to focus on in balance, I believe the bill that passed out of the House was definitely much more balanced than the one that currently is in the chains in the Senate. I've been working with my Senate counterparts, Chairman Crapo, Leader Thune, and other senators trying to find that equal balance. And we have to thread a needle. We got to get 218 votes in the House and 51 in the Senate. And right now, I think it's a little out of balance.
Well, and just to push you a little bit on what that specifically looks like in terms of being out of balance, Senator Tillis circulated a document outlining how the Medicaid provisions could hurt states, particularly red states. And it shows Missouri could forfeit some $6.1 billion over the next decade if you cap the provider tax rate, which is part of what's being discussed. What is your level of confidence that people in Missouri won't lose Medicaid coverage if this is in the final version of the bill?
The president has made it crystal clear, Kristen, that the reforms when it comes to Medicaid has to be waste, fraud, and abuse. That's it. The provider tax does not fall underneath waste, fraud, and abuse from my sense, and that's why it was not in the House bill. So we tried to move forward a piece of policy that mirrored the president's priorities, and that's what you're going to see the final product that will be delivered to the president. It will be a balance of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. This is the largest tax cut in U.S. history. It's also the largest spending cuts in U.S. history. But we have to have equal balance, whether it's the IRA credits, whether it's debt and deficit hawks that are concerned with spending cuts, or whether it's the folks that are very sensitive to various issues within Medicaid.
Well, and staying on the provider tax, and just for the folks who are watching, it basically helps states fund the Medicaid program. The Senate is working on what they're calling a fund. This would help basically alleviate the strain on rural hospitals. Do you support creating that fund? Could that be the fix to this issue, Congressman?
Kristen, access to health care is so important. It is the top priority of the Ways and Means Committee here in the House because access in rural areas is tough. Rural hospitals are struggling, and the last thing they need is something else that trips them up. So we need to be very smart. We need to be very careful in the actions that we take, that it will not harm rural hospitals that are barely making it right now.
So do you support this fund, though? Do you think that's the path to fixing this issue?
I like the House version of what we did in regards to Medicaid a whole lot better than what's on the other side of the building. But once again, we're going to have to continue to negotiate, find a balance. We're not there yet, Kristen, but we will be.
I hear you basically saying to the Senate that you don't support these proposed changes that we are learning about. Do you think if these changes, as we're talking about, make their way through the Senate, can that legislation pass the House?
We're trying to make sure that what ultimately passes the Senate, probably by this weekend, will be something that hopefully we can pick up and pass the House. But if it's not balanced, we're going to have to go to a conference committee. But hopefully they will strike that appropriate balance. And that balance needs to be included whether you're looking at the state and local tax as well as with the green credits and with the Medicaid reforms.
So it sounds like you are bracing for a process that could go beyond July 4th. I know that that had been the initial goal. Is that your assessment? Do you think this process goes beyond July 4th?
No, we're going to get this done. The president has asked us for a long time to get it delivered to his desk for July 4th. I believe that we can do that. Of course, it's been over in the Senate for 6 weeks since we passed it out of the House. I look forward to the Senate passing their bill this week. I just hope that it's truly balanced. If not, we'll do a conference committee and we'll move forward. But I think we can get it done by July 4th in either process.
Let me get your reaction to something that Senator Tillis warned about, saying that Republicans could actually lose in 2026 if they go forward with the proposed Medicaid cuts. He basically compared it to the losses that Democrats faced in 2014 after what was a really uneven rollout of Obamacare. Do you agree with that? Are the midterms on the line here?
You know, I would say the midterms are always in everyone's thoughts all the time. We're creating a tax package that delivers for working families, small businesses, and farmers, and that is the whole focus of this, and delivering on the campaign promises that President Trump promised the American people. And so if we don't deliver on those priorities, that will definitely have a negative impact in the midterm elections.
So, okay, so that's a significant statement. You're basically warning that if this doesn't get done, you think Republicans are going to suffer. What if it gets done and it is perceived that it does impact Medicaid cuts?
When this bill passes, it will be the largest tax cut in the history of America. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tax relief for seniors, all things that 77 million Americans listened to President Trump. He campaigned on, and he's delivering on that. It also has the most spending cuts in U.S. history. This is something that has been demanded by numerous Americans, but it also secures our border, the largest investment in border security in the history of America. It also has a significant investment in the Golden Dome to protect all Americans, especially when we're looking at international conflict. And so this is a bill that when we deliver it will be a huge win to every single American.
There's a big back and forth over whether the House is going to actually accept what the Senate passes if they pass this legislation. According to a report in Punchbowl, Senator Cassidy raised concerns that the House will not be able to pass whatever the Senate is putting together right now. Majority Leader John Thune, though, responded by saying the House will ultimately accept what the Senate passes. It, based on your answers, seems like you view it a bit differently. How do you view it? Is that the case, that you're prepared to accept whatever the Senate passes?
Absolutely not, Kristen. I hate to be a broken record. I've said all along, if the Senate has appropriate balance, we'll be able to take up the bill and pass it. But right now, their proposal that's out there is not equally balanced in order to get the 218 votes in the House and the 51 in the Senate. But they're going to continue to work towards that balance. But as we stand today, the bill that I have seen, there is not balance. But we're continuing to negotiate with the Senate, and hopefully it will be before that bill passes the Senate floor.
Congressman Smith, let me just read you what President Trump posted on social media yesterday. He said, "To my friends in the Senate, lock yourself in a room if you must. Don't go home and get the deal done this week. Work with the House so they can pick it up and pass it immediately. No one goes on vacation till it's done." Your reaction to President Trump, and what role does he need to play in order to get this over the finish line?
I totally agree with President Trump. We need to get this done. The American people have waited too long. We need to deliver this. This is why I've pushed for one big bill for a very long time. At one time, I felt like I was by myself pushing for that one bill because we need to deliver tax relief for working families as quickly as possible.
All right, Congressman Jason Smith, I know you've got a little ways to go in this process, so hopefully you'll come back and join us again soon. Really appreciate your being here.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kristen.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.